Hello students, we are into a new chapter. Name of the chapter is Patient Counseling. So what are we going to study in this chapter? So objective of this chapter is to study first one is to know the definition of patient counseling, understand the outcomes of patient counseling, and then know various stages of patient counseling, understand the barriers and find strategies to overcome such barriers. Then patient information leaflets. We are going to know patient information leaflets, its content, design and layouts, as well as advisory labels on this. Alright, first let's try to know the definition of patient counseling. The International Federation, Pharmaceutical Federation, and the WHO, both they have uh, given the roles for the pharmacists, right? That we have studied in the chapter one. So, according to those roles, patient counseling is one of the roles that pharmacist is supposed to perform in the pharmacy. So the patient counseling is defined as providing information to the patient or patient's caregivers regarding disease, medication, diet, and lifestyle modification in layman language, means not using any medical terms. You need to make the patient understand in usual language, not the medical language, to achieve the desirable therapeutic outcomes. The patient he wants to heal um, the current problem or the disease, right? So that is the main outcome of this patient counseling. So what are you doing here in patient counseling? You are providing the information. You can provide either to patient or to the patient caregiver. And what is the information you are providing? That is about the disease, medication, diet, and lifestyle modification. If any changes, lifestyle modification patient needs to be done, that you can discuss with the patient. And you are not supposed to use any medical language here. You have to speak in layman's language, right? The patient should not find difficulty understanding your language, the way you explain or the terms you use in your conversation. And also the information may be given verbally, right? You can talk directly to the patient, and complemented complemented with the written information. You can also give the leaflet to the patient, like the pamphlet. You can give the leaflet regarding the disease and medication to the patient, right? That is the definition of the patient counseling. All right. Now here in this picture, you can see here the pharmacist is discussing with the patient regarding the medication, right? She is holding the medication and she is explaining about the medication. So that's patient counseling. And let's try to understand this patient counseling in both in India as well as in Western pharmacy scenario. See, this is pretty much a modern pharmacy in India. right? This is setting of Apollo Pharmacy. I guess this is the way out, right? From that is for the staff, right? I think this is the computer. There should be a computer over here, and pharmacist will be standing here, and the technician will be standing here, right? And the patient will be standing here, right? The patient comes and gives the prescription, and the technician, he or she looks at the prescription. If there is any difficulty in reading, discusses with the pharmacist, right? The patient, the technician, or the staff, she goes and looks for the medication, right, and brings it to the, usually what happens, she can bring and give it to the patient directly, right, or she can bring over here. This is the one for billing, so she bills and gives it to the patient. Many of the times the patient counseling is missing over here, so the what she has to do is, the patient has to, sorry, the technician or the staff, whoever picks up the medication from the rack, has to bring it to the pharmacist, right? Now the pharmacist is going to check this medication along with the prescription that patient has given. Pharmacist checks the medication along with the prescription, sees that everything is fine, and now the pharmacist has to ask the patient whether he or she has got any question regarding the prescription. Here the counseling scenario occurs. Now, if the patient has got any question, pharmacist has to go to a corner, call the patient over here, right? And the pharmacist and the patient, pharmacist and the patient, they are supposed to discuss about the medication over here, medication or the disease or the diet uh, over here. So this is how it is supposed to be, and this is how it is in Western countries, in US and other European countries. Here's the setting in this is a setting of pharmacy in US. Here here's the drop-off area. Drop-off area means the patient or the caregiver comes and drops off the prescription over here. There will be a technician over here. If there is no technician over here, technician from here, he or she comes over here, and the patient dropping off the prescription, giving the prescription to the technician looks at it, and she enters the prescription information into the computer, and that information is will get generated into the computer. It will get generated into label, prescription label, or that, and that gets printed, that label gets printed, and the technician over here, she fills the prescription, she prints and she fills that prescription. She'll be having the bottle, rack of empty bottle, and these are the racks of the medications, right? She goes here, brings the medication, looking at the label, and she fills that in the bottle, and she closes that bottle. She puts the label on the bottle, and she gives that filled bottle to the pharmacist over here. Here's the pharmacist, right? This pharmacist, he checks the label content, um, and the medication inside the bottle. And this pharmacist, there may be two pharmacists also, right? Depending on how busy is the pharmacy is, right? Now, and this technician over here, she actually scans the prescription into the computer, and that scanned copy of that prescription will be available to this pharmacist on his computer, right? And he checks the prescription, checks the prescription bottle, checks the label, and looks for the any drug interaction. um, if there is any problem, he calls the patient to the counseling area. See, this will be the counseling area. This is the pickup area. This is the pickup area where the patient picks up the medication once it is filled. The pharmacist, he can check the prescription and put them into the bins over here, right? If pharmacist having any problem, sees any problem with the prescription, calls the patient over here. Sometimes patient, they just drop off the prescription and they come back later. They don't wait for the prescription to get filled. um, they may come later, or maybe next day, another day, right? In that case, pharmacist can note on the prescription that there is something to discuss with the patient. Now, patient, they see, these are the patient, they are picking up the medication. The medications are the ones, they're picking up the ones, those are filled, right, on their name, right? Now this patient, if they have any questions to discuss with the pharmacist, they can go here, and the pharmacist will come to that consultation area, or the counseling area. It is also called a consultation area, pharmacist consultation area. They come to this consultation area, they discuss with the pharmacist regarding the prescription. And the technician over here, or the cashier over here, who are helping with the pickup, she has to, in US, the technician, whoever at the pickup area, um, helping with the picking up the medicine, has to ask the patient whether the patient has got any questions to the pharmacist on the medication. If the patient says yes, she has to send the patient to the uh, counseling area or the consultation area. This is how the patient counseling takes place in advanced countries. Hopefully, we will also, in India, we will also get into this. I mean, we are going to have this kind of setup in India. It's so. What are the advantages of doing this? So let's see that in the next slide. Outcomes of effective patient counseling. So what are the benefits of patient counseling? So first one, the patient will understand the importance of the prescribed medication in management of the disease. So patient can thoroughly discuss with the pharmacist regarding the medication, right? And that will help in management of the disease. Improved medication adherence. The more the patient knows regarding his or her medication, the adherence will increase. Adherence means the sticking to the medication, taking it on time, so that process can be improved. Achieving the desired therapeutic goal. The Of course, automatically, when the patient takes the medication on time, the patient disease, it will get cured properly, in a faster way. Then reduced incidence of adverse effects and unnecessary healthcare costs. So that will also reduce the adverse effects. So the pharmacist can guide the patient on drug interactions and other things that is involved. Pharmacists also guide the patient on the adverse effects on the medication, and how that can be avoided. Then improved quality of life, of course it will improve the quality of life for the patient. Improved professional rapport between the patient and the pharmacist. This is also a business, right? Filling the prescription and keeping the good relation with the patient, so that the patient comes back to the pharmacy uh, on his next prescription. So this is you're going to uh, build up the rapport, and also it will increase the uh, patient patronage to the pharmacy. The patient will like that pharmacy, and the pharmacist and patient is going to come back on his next prescription. So these are all the advantages or the importance why the patient counseling needs to be done. Then the patient counseling is not simply provide, it's just not giving the information. The timing and actually the pharmacist needs to plan little bit on giving a patient counseling, which one, where to start and where to end, and what needs to be in between, organizing the points, like you have to say one after another, right? Then often in community pharmacies, pharmacists are busy in filling prescriptions and patients are in hurry. In Yeah, pharmacist is going to be, he is a busy person. Only pharmacists can do the counseling in the pharmacy, not the technicians or the other staffs. So but the pharmacist is a busy person in the pharmacy, whole pharmacy. And also patients, they will not show much patience in hearing to the pharmacist. So that happens, that giving the prescription and taking the medication back happens pretty soon. So every patient receiving medication should know about how to use them, but in busy practice, it may not be feasible. Following guidelines may be used to identify the patient who need counseling. So because of the busy situation in the pharmacy, as well as the busy, because the pharmacist is busy in the pharmacy, so the following guidelines needs to be followed in counseling the patient. Patients are now who are all require a patient. We will try to prioritize a patient on the problems. Patient or their caregivers confused about the medication. If see when the patient enters the pharmacy, or patient alone, or patient with the caregiver, or caregiver by himself or herself, you have to keep an eye on them to see if they are confused about the medication. If you think that they are confused about the medication, then you need to do the counseling. You need to do the counseling on their medication. Patient with impaired sight or hearing, patient who cannot see properly as well as cannot hear properly, though such patients, they need counseling, because they might have gone to the doctor, and even doctor, in doctor office or in the clinic, even doctor will be very busy. He mainly focuses on patient disease, patient lab report, patient, if there are any x-rays are done, he'll be busy looking at that. He may discuss with the patient, but it will be only on maybe like on disease, not related to the medicine. So there it comes, though in case of the patient having a sight problem or hearing problem, definitely they need much more uh, importance needs to be given on the patient counseling on this kind of patient. Patient whose profile shows a change in medication or dosing, if the doctor has changed the medication or the dosing has been changed, the strength has been changed, or the number of times the, the patient supposed to take the medication has been changed, you have to bring that to the notice of the patient so that the patient knows the change in medication or change in the time interval between the medications. New patient or those receiving a medication for first time. New patient or the patient who are taking the medication for the first time, so they need counseling. Then patient receiving medication on behalf of children. Children dosing is different from adult dosing. So children, when you get to prescription for children, you have to give special care, explaining the caregiver regarding the medication. Patient receiving medication in mechanized devices such as inhalers and rotahalers, a type of inhaler, and medications with the special storage requirement. If medication needs to be stored in the refrigerator, certain antibiotics, uh, especially those in powder form, that needs to be um, converted into suspension by putting in water after taking the first dose. The medication has to be refrigerated in most of the antibiotics. So in such cases and all, the pharmacist has to do the counseling. The next, patient who should be counseled at regular intervals. Then and then, the pharmacist has to make sure that he or she counsels the patient in these category of patient. One is asthmatic patients. See, asthmatic patient, they use those inhalers or nebulizers, or the other machines they may use for breathing. So in that case, they need pharmacist help. Pharmacist needs to counsel them. Pharmacist needs to guide them in taking those medications. Diabetic patient may take more. They may take more than one medication. They also need help in using the glucometers, the machine that can find out the blood sugar level. So nowadays the little machines are sold in the pharmacies, that can, those are glucometers that can help finding the blood sugar level with the patient. Many patient, they do not know how to use these machines, how to use these glucometers. So in that case, the pharmacist needs to help the patient in how to operate such machines. Same thing is with the blood pressure monitor. There are blood pressure monitors, so those are available in the pharmacies. Patients taking four or more medications, of course, patient taking four or more medications will get confused regarding the medications. Also, there are chances of drug interaction between the medications. Such patients needs to be counseled. Patients using devices containing medications, certain medications like the nebulizers, certain medication, those needs to be put in the nebulizers for breathing purposes. Such medications which need devices, such patient needs to be counseled. And then the epileptic patients, they need to be counseled by the pharmacist. Patient one with the convulsions, epileptic patient, they need to be counseled by the pharmacist. Patients with the skin complaints, they need to be counseled by the pharmacist. Here also there may be chances of more than one medication they may be taking, or you need to counsel the patient on how to apply the medication on the skin. Patients misusing drugs, they need to be counseled. Some patient may misuse the prescribed medications, right? Those needs to be counseled. So there are chances that patient can abuse the prescription medications, especially the opioid medications, the painkiller medications. There are chances that, or the one for the um, one in the case of psychotic drugs. So those patients needs to be counseled by the pharmacist. Patients who are terminally ill patients are those patients who may have just one or multiple diseases, and their life expectancy is less. Um, the the doctors, they know that the patient is not going to survive for a long time, but at the same time the patient needs sympathy and care in such situation, as well as the medication that patient terminally ill patient taking, those needs to be counseled. The those patients who are terminally ill taking the medications, those patients needs to be counseled by the pharmacists. So these are the patients, those needs to be counseled by the pharmacist. All right, that's all for today, and we will continue in our next class. Thank you very much, and let me know if you have any questions.